Chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth and all their army came to their completion. And by the seventh day God came to the completion of his work that he had made, and he proceeded to rest on the seventh day from all his work that he had made. And God proceeded to bless the seventh day and make it sacred, because on it he has been resting from all his work that God has created for the purpose of making. This is a history of the heavens and the earth in the time of their being created, in the day that Jehovah God made earth and heaven. Now there was as yet no bush of the field found in the earth, and no vegetation of the field was as yet sprouting, because Jehovah God had not made it rain upon the earth, and there was no man to cultivate the ground. But a mist would go up from the earth, and it watered the entire surface of the ground. And Jehovah God proceeded to form the man out of dust from the ground, and to blow into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man came to be a living soul. Further, Jehovah God planted a garden in Eden toward the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. Thus Jehovah God made to grow out of the ground every tree desirable to one's sight, and good for food, and also the tree of life in the middle of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. Now there was a river issuing out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it began to be parted, and it became, as it were, 4 heads. The first one's name is Pishon. It is the one encircling the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There also are the bdellium gum and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one encircling the entire land of Cush. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. It is the one going to the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. And Jehovah God proceeded to take the man and settle him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate it and to take care of it. And Jehovah God also laid this command upon the man: From every tree of the garden you may eat to satisfaction, but as for the tree of the knowledge of good and bad, you must not eat from it, for in the day you eat from it, you will positively die. And Jehovah God went on to say, It is not good for the man to continue by himself. I'm going to make a helper for him, as a complement of him. Now Jehovah God was forming from the ground every wild beast of the field, and every flying creature of the heavens, and he began bringing them to the man to see what he would call each one. And whatever the man would call it, each living soul, that was its name. So the man was calling the names of all the domestic animals, and of the flying creatures of the heavens, and of every wild beast of the field. But for man there was found no helper as a complement of him. Hence Jehovah God had a deep sleep fall upon the man, and, while he was sleeping, he took one of his ribs, and then closed up the flesh over its place. And Jehovah God proceeded to build the rib that he had taken from the man into a woman, and to bring her to the man. Then the man said, This is at last bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. This one will be called woman, because from man this one was taken. That is why a man will leave his father and his mother, and he must stick to his wife, and they must become one flesh. And both of them continued to be naked, the man and his wife, and yet they did not become ashamed.